Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecian Live. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
All right, for those of you here who are new to NuSpecies, just to let you know, we are a natural health company. We invent and manufacture our own unique line of raw, plant-based supplements and herbal medicine. We're also an integrative health consulting practice where we help you leverage the best out of both your desires to live a natural lifestyle as well as getting the best that you can out of your medical care. And that journey is different for everyone. A good health choice for you may not be a good health choice for someone else. And so that's why we do this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. to give you the answers to your questions that'll help you continue along your own unique health journey. So thank you so much for being with us here today. We'd love when you say good morning to us in the chat. So feel free to pop in there and give us a little hello. Hi, Donna. Hello, Maxine. And good morning, Headley. Thank you guys for being in the chat. And we'll look forward to see what else pops up over the course of the show.
Yep. Don't forget your questions or comments or your testimonials or your feedback. We'd love to hear from you, and we want to know what you're thinking. We want to know what we can do best to serve you, because that's what we do. We serve you.
We'll do a couple quick announcements while we're waiting for everyone to get going. But next Friday, Bronxville will be closed for an employee vacation day. So that you can find that on our app, on our website, on our Google business page, and through our email notifications. So if you have downloaded our app, if you have subscribed to our email list, or if you at least visit our website before you come to the store, then you will know this already. But just want to keep you informed. And then also this weekend through next weekend is your November discount. So right now is 15% off all full priced products. The promo code is right on the website. So when you go to the website, it'll be in the announcements bar up top. We do have the announcement to donate to Hurricane Melissa recovery in Jamaica. So that will rotate with the discount information. So if you're just patient, you'll see it right there. But also, again, if you are on our app, on our email list, you will also have the details you need for the discount. And that goes through next weekend. Cool thing about our email list is during discount periods, we try to give you more education about products you may want to try. We make the case for really great gifts that you might want to give to your loved ones this holiday season. So it's a good place to be if you're engaging with NuSpecies and want to get the most out of your investment in your health.
Right. And keep in mind that Jillian said November, which means Thanksgiving, which means we're not going to have a Black Friday sale. Is that correct?
Right. We never do.
Okay. So this is it. So if you're looking to do something for friends and family for Thanksgiving or Black Friday, this is it. Take advantage. And also, Jillian mentioned the donations we're asking you all to make. We are doing our part in significant ways that probably invisible to you, but please make a donation to Jamaica. And even if it's $5, as I have it on my Facebook, and you can do it directly through our website if you choose, or you can just go to jamaica.gov. Officially, that's a place where you can avoid any kind of fraud or any situations. The New York governor has been warning about fraud.
Right. Yeah, the tough thing, the first few times I went to make our donation, it was declined because our bank thought it was fraud, I guess because the payment processing is through the Jamaica government, so it's another country. So you might, I don't know, it's an extra step, which certainly inhibits donations, but hopefully you'll go the extra mile, which is reach out to your bank and let them know you're about to make a donation. It's going through this Jamaican website, and that you want the charge to go through.
Right.
All right. So the discount is happening now. I will say we don't, it's not like we have anything against Black Friday. It's just that we don't like to make ourselves and our team crazy around the holiday when ultimately we want our team to feel comfortable taking days off. and spending time with their family. And if we're doing a big discount, there's more stress around that. They'll feel less likely to want to take off. They will not be as at ease when they're off because they know they're coming into an onslaught the next day. So we just prefer to do our discounts away from the holidays. So that is why this is the discount for this month. So don't hold out. We're not going to surprise you with anything better. We're not pulling any tricks here. It's just this is when we're doing our discount for this month.
Mhm. And thank you for understanding. So if you have family and friends that are coming in from around the world to celebrate with you, then you can tell them if they were going to get NuSpecies, they can get it between now and next weekend. You can just they can just call, or they can ask you to get it for them, but they can call us and we'll have it set aside for them. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you all know, if you've called NuSpecies recently to ask any questions, our team has just merged and become one with Aston. I was telling Aston the other day, I feel like our whole customer service team is basically like one big think tank now. And so if you have any questions, you're not going to get put off to an appointment 2 weeks from now. Usually they can conference Aston right into the call. If not, he'll get back to you later in the day. But I say this because if you're going to get family and friends and you're thinking, well, if they have to buy within the next week, how are we going to reach Aston? Certainly calling now and early next week is going to be the best chance at reaching Aston versus trying to call right up toward the end of the discount next weekend. But most likely you'll be able to chat with Aston and get them what they need.
Mhm.
And I'm sure Austin's going to be excited to share that we just have a whole new slew of options now for the ways people can phase in and get started with NuSpecies so that it's within your budget. And I'm sure your family and friends will appreciate that because maybe you've been trying to tell them about NuSpecies for a long time and they're thinking, oh, I got to spend all this money. I'm not ready for that. That's really not the case.
Mhm.
And we're proving that more and more with as over the years, people have had to buy less costly packages to get just to meet their budget and they still got great results. Maybe it took longer or maybe it happened differently, but we've seen the evidence where it's still really effective. So there's many more options now that
Absolutely.
Aston can confidently recommend.
Absolutely. If those of you who've been around for with new species for the last 15, 20 years, you recall that we at one point we only had 3 bottles.
Mhm.
We had the men's formula, or the women's formula with the LNU1 and the V pump, and those are what put new species on the global map.
Mhm.
Those 3 bottles alone. So now we have a slew of other formulas that are more potent, but even the basic ones will work. So what you just said there about the family and friends, we're accommodating them with with formulas that are potent enough to help them. That goes for the elderly as well, or seniors, and those of you who are in social security. You have pointed out to me numerous times. So we have a resolution new species to be able to accommodate everyone. And apologies from us over the years that we had not done that, but now we're doing it. We've taken time, and now we have it ready for you.
Yeah. And I think it's nice Aston would apologize, but I don't think he should
Haha.
because we get a lot of pressure from you all, as you know, when you have a health issue and you're scared that
True.
you want the results.
True.
And it's always been safer for us to just recommend something very powerful that we've seen work over and over again. And basically, I would say that you forced us into over time seeing how other formulas can perform just because you didn't have a choice with your budget. And then we were able to see with the pressure off of us that the results could still be achieved. And now that we have more evidence of that, Aston is able to make recommendations that cost less. So,
That's very true. Very
yeah,
true.
yeah.
A lot of you still do. You would come to me and you would say, "You want results, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. You want results right away."
Mhm.
And that's why we have all these powerful formulas. So
Right.
it's not for all of you, but those of you who can be patient and you can do our more basic support or maintenance formulas, which we have now on the website, and we're going to put more up. You can start with those and start supporting your body, and just be patient with diet and lifestyle, and you will get results. It may take a little longer, but you will get results.
Yeah. And we were talking about this the other day that we always find it interesting, I guess, at best, when um we have a client who has been recommended a powerful package that costs a lot, and so they're not able to spend that money right now. But then when we say, all right, well, let's start off with our vitamins and minerals and detox, which when it comes to NuSpecies quality, that is extremely potent. But then they'll say, oh, well, I really should just do the thing you said. So I'm going to wait until I can afford it. And I'm like, okay. And then like you come back, this person will come back 6 months later and say, okay, now my issue's gotten worse, or I still have this problem. And we're like, okay, well, where you've been, what's going on? It's like, well, I went to GNC or Vitamin Shop, or I just tried other things.
Hmm.
And it's like, well, why would you give these other things the benefit of the doubt before you gave it to us? It's like possible, even with our most basic products, you could have gotten some results, maybe not the full thing you originally came to NuSpecies for, but
Hmm.
because of the quality and the fact that our formulas are cold processed and raw, the vitamins are there, they're powerful, all those micronutrients, all the enzymes, things that are heat sensitive that get damaged in normal manufacturing practices with a lot of the other products that maybe you had gone to thinking they're going to cost less. So you give them a try, but they aren't effective, or maybe they even could be harmful depending
Hmm.
on how they're made. You didn't give us that chance. And so, yeah, it's like this battle we've been fighting of perception that, NuSpecies is where I go to rebuild or get my herbal, my medicine, and then everything else I go somewhere else, when it's like, actually, no, vitamins and minerals are medicine. They are what your body needs to repair itself, to maintain itself. And yes, like we've got some of the most powerful stuff you might find out there, but we've also got the best quality everyday stuff
Hmm.
that is the key to ongoing great health. And we'd love the benefit of the doubt first, or to take the chance on what you think maybe isn't the best package for you. I think you have a best chance with us than going out and experimenting with other things.
I totally agree. And so our vitamins, our multivitamins, and our multiminerals, they're from nature. They're made by nature. Nothing we have is created, produced, generated in a laboratory. Our vitamins and minerals, and that's why they're so potent. And the reason why it's critical for you to know that you should be taking vitamins and minerals or supplements that are made by nature, made by God, is because any kind of chemicals or compounds that are made in labs, that are generated in labs that you're taking, they will damage the genes and DNA. Not may, they will damage the genes and DNA. It's a guarantee. I don't know that there's any scientists on the earth who would disagree with that. And they will damage the immune system. Therefore, they're going to damage your cells, the tissues, the organs. So they will lead to some disease of some kind. So it's a true statement. It's a factual statement. If you're taking these generated compounds from labs in your vitamins and minerals, they will hurt you. So yes, they cost a lot less than NuSpecies, but they will hurt you. And we go through the manufacturing process to ensure you're getting something that are made from nature, from by nature.
Right.
I like to call them nature's naturals. That's what we have in our formulas.
You had something better the other day. I'm trying to remember what it was. Uh,
The
or
holistic.
no. All right,
Uh,
we'll figure it out.
yeah,
Um,
I have many many descriptions for our new species formulas. Yeah.
we don't have a big fancy marketing company or anything, so all the words that you see on our website, in our emails, in our text messages, they come right out of our heart, effective or not. We're doing our best. Uh, I'm going to say good morning to Darnett and Trevor. Hi, Johnny. Good morning, Diana and Suzanne. Thank you all so much for being here. Trevor says that he did his physical and he has the results back and he's going to send them to you.
Okay. Yeah, I look forward to seeing them, sir.
All right, let's hop into our pre submitted question.
Okay.
Hopefully, George has had time to join and is with us this morning.
Hmm.
All right. What items do you have for me to take? I was diagnosed with prostate cancer and type 2 diabetes.
Sorry to hear that. And it's always dreadful when someone get diagnosed with any issue at all. I did my PSA test a couple months ago, and it's funny. I'm going to admit this to all of you, how when I went to the portal to check on my PSA, thank God it's good. But before I opened the test results on my portal, I had a sense of panic.
Mm.
Believe me, I did.
Yeah.
And I know it's what everybody goes through, you know. So being diagnosed with an issue like that, that's why, Jill, we go to I think we go to the extreme to make sure everything we do is done right.
Mhm.
So if someone has a diagnosis like that, a lot of the diseases we get, they're caused from damage to DNA and genes. Usually one is both, because they're in the same little capsule. The genes are wrapped around the DNA with all the proteins, the chromatin, and the histones. So it's just one tiny little microscopic capsule that has all of that. So if you get a diagnosis like that, and most of the other diagnoses, the genes are damaged, the DNA damage, and then for you to think further that the immune system was too weak to prevent that or to fix that. So we have to rebuild the genes and DNA to support a lot of the issues, humans get. We have to rebuild the immune system. We have to rebuild the organ where the issue is, in this case, the prostate. If it's diabetes, we have to rebuild the pancreas. If it's high blood pressure, we have to rebuild the blood vessels. So we have to rebuild at various levels to ensure that you're going to get the results you're looking for. And that's why we get the results we get. And then beyond that, we have to help you purify your body, detox your body. It is so key to have the blood being clean, purified. The organs, the tissue, the cells, they have to be detoxed. The digestive system has to be clean, because a lot of times it's the chemicals from our bodies that break our genes and DNA. Sometimes it's not just the foods we eat. The foods we eat make it worse, but our bodies generate a lot of what they call ROS. You all can Google it now. But I'll tell you what it is in case it gives you poor answers. It's a reactive oxygen species. What that means is that in our metabolic system, the way we metabolize foods, when our bodies are too weak, sometimes our bodies go overboard and create a lot of inflammation, and that's what that is. And those ROS or OS, oxidative stress from our mitochondria trying to make a lot of energy to support our bodies, those faults can damage the genes and DNA as well and damage the immune system. So when you come to us and we need to help you with whatever issue you have, those are the levels that we have to think through to help you. So yes, we have formulas or protocols that we can use to help you with prostate issues and diabetic issues as well.
All right. And then George obviously should call and
Or if we have his email or
Mhm.
his phone number, we just have that one-on-one with you, George, so that we can give you options. We have various options or protocols for prostate issues, and the various protocols have different price points. So we want to work with your budget. We don't want to assume that you want, the best that we have. I mean, that
well,
to
everyone wants the best.
right, but I mean that's well, I shouldn't say the best. I wish
Mhm.
I should say, we're going to work with you where you are with your budget,
Mhm.
your lifestyle, your needs, right? Everybody has different needs, so that's why we have these different protocols.
Right. How would you normally approach when somebody comes to you with multiple health issues, especially if he was just diagnosed with both of these? How do you normally approach that? Do you immediately make a recommendation that
No,
covers all those things?
no.
How would somebody think about this when they're coming to New Species?
So that's a great question, and this, everything I say goes for all of you, literally. So no one is going to come to me or come to New Species with one health issue. There's no such thing. If someone has cancer, they have at least a dozen other additional health problems, at least a dozen. I just mentioned DNA, I mentioned genes, I mentioned the immune system, I mentioned, the damage to the prostate, which could be related to hormones, it could be related to chemicals, it could be related to inflammation. There are just so many levels of damage in our bodies that take place before it shows up in a lab report or it shows up in a MRI or a PET scan or whatever, CT, right? There are just so many things that went wrong for that to happen, for a mass, a tumor, a cyst, a lump, a bump. It's a lot of health conditions combined. So even with diabetes, if we were to mention that in this discussion, diabetes is a hormonal issue. Prostate usually is a hormonal issue. One is insulin, the other is testosterone or dihydrotestosterone. So it could be hormonal for both. And that's what I didn't even mention in the discussion I just had as to what we have to do. So with prostate, we also have to help, like diabetes, to balance the hormones. So you come to us and you have all these issues. Yes, we have a program. I was talking to Jill about it earlier. It's the longevity program
Mm-hmm.
that if you want our longevity program, you literally have to use most of the formulas we have in probably every day. But that's not feasible. It's not practical for everyone. But we have it if you want it. But we would say to you, if you have diabetes, you have prostate issues, we talk you through each program, each protocol we have, and then we make a recommendation to start with one protocol or one issue. Like in this case, I would say you start with the prostate issue because it's so huge, and whatever we recommend will likely cover diabetes and a lot of other health issues
Because of the root causes.
because of the root causes, right?
Right. Diana is saying, Aston, I didn't know that about the many health issues when getting cancer.
Oh yeah, it's it's a big deal. And you might say, all of us might say, we go to our doctor. In this case, it's a urologist, a primary care, and maybe, other specialists are involved for other issues. And you say, so if that's true, Aston, if that's true, new species, why is the oncologist only focusing on one issue? Right? Well, just think about it. If what I said is true and someone has 5, 10 different health issues, are they going to give you 5, 10 different medication for all those issues while you're in radiation or chemo or immunotherapy? No, they won't, because it could kill you. All those medication, combined together could kill you or could cause other even more serious health issues. So the doctors are not going to do that. And what you're hearing from us is our medical system in the United States is phenomenal. I can tell you that. It is extraordinarily good. But they can't do everything for us. Sometimes they only can treat one disease at a time.
They also aren't there to educate us about root causes and lifestyle. It's just not in their training, and they're there to wield the power and magic of medicine, and that has its role. I think our job is to make sure we are not depending on that for every single thing, and that we aren't making it harder for them to help us by doing all kinds of things that challenge our body to take care of itself.
When my dad died from prostate cancer, it's not the cancer specifically that killed him. So, whoever decide what killed my father, because he had prostate cancer, he died of a heart attack. Just minutes before he died, he was talking, joking, and all that, with my brother and my sister. I wasn't in the room at the time. He died of a heart attack. So the point I'm making to all of you is a lot of people we know who die, they have cancer, but it wasn't the cancer that killed them. Some other disease killed them. And in some cases, diseases that they weren't even being treated for that killed them.
Right. well, eventually it just becomes too much and they can't do it all. And ultimately, the amazing thing is that your body actually can. Your body knows how to maintain and regulate all of its systems and organs. And so, yes, if we're getting medical treatment because we need it, that's one thing, but we shouldn't just throw up our hands and say, well, that's it. That's all I'm doing right now. What we need to do is say, now, what can I do to make my body fight with me, for me and fight for itself? And that is where you can avoid these major escalations of your issue or developing many other health issues, because you're not just letting your body, because again, what the medical industry is doing is managing symptoms, to the extent of saving your life, buying you more time. But time for what? Time to continue to degrade into with other health problems, or time to fight? And that's where NuSpecies comes in as far as your partner, which is to make sure that you're fighting in all the ways that you can. And that's going to look different for all of us, because we all have different root causes. Even if we have the same issues, we all have different lifestyle factors that contribute to how we struggle, when we struggle, how bad the struggle is. And that is what we assess ongoing here at NuSpecies. And we teach our team, and we have pretty complex systems to track everything that's going on with you, because you could have one issue a year ago and have a certain budget and a certain mindset to deal with that issue, and then you come back a year later and maybe your life has significantly changed, you're more stressed, maybe your budget isn't as, there's just so many things that constantly change that we have to assess
Mm-hmm.
when we're trying to guide you and help you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an ongoing forever relationship, and that's what we find intriguing, and what we love about how we do our thing. And we think it's really valuable, and we've seen that.
Well, for example, Trevor, who is on the Q&A now, he mentioned in the chat, I didn't read it myself, but I'm looking at it now, that he did this physical and has results back and going to send them to me or you, NuSpecies. So we're going to pick on Trevor now. So Trevor has been with NuSpecies over a decade. And it's not just Trevor. It's Trevor and his wife and his children and other people he recommends to NuSpecies. So like Jillian was saying, the relationship we have with each of you, we have everything that Trevor, his wife, his kids ever told us they had, whatever issues they ever had, or whatever health needs they ever had. We have all of it in our system. All the lab reports going back over 10 years. We have all of that. So Trevor might talk with me today or next week. I'm sure he's healthy, and go over his labs. And before I speak with Trevor, I'm going to go back into his history and look at everything he ever told me that was wrong or he wanted to work on, whether he, just to be more healthy or whatever. I'm going to do that. So when I speak with him, I know Trevor. And if I speak with his wife, I know Trevor's wife. Or if I speak with his daughter, I know Trevor's daughter. I know their health history. I know their work history. I know their living history. I know their dietary history. And what I want to say to you all is that when you come to us and you work with us, you or your family, your friends, we go through all of this to ensure we're providing you the best possible support that we can provide you. And guess what? We don't even charge for it.
Mhm. Yep.
That's who we are.
Yeah.
That's the heart and soul of NuSpecies.
Yeah. I was just following up with Diana. She was saying that she had a stage 2 cancer, but she's been okay for the last 3.5 years. So, Diana, I don't know if you wanted to elaborate a little bit more on that. I don't know if you just did medical treatment. I know you're always on the Q&A, and you're always bigging up NuSpecies, which we really appreciate. But I don't want to assume NuSpecies was part of why you're okay. So if you want to elaborate, go right ahead. If not, it's totally fine. We appreciate you being here and your comment.
So I mentioned the longevity program a short while ago.
It's still in its
And
very early phases.
it's still, but
And it currently includes us moving
but
somewhere tropical and farming ourselves.
that too, that too. But I think, you know, I didn't finish what I said about helping someone with prostate,
Oh,
issue and
yes, George.
diabetes. So there's
Mhm.
lifestyle changes as well that we recommend, lifestyle, dietary changes. It's all of that to get the body to support itself. Our bodies are extremely complex, and that's why I latched myself onto this so-called longevity program, because our bodies need so much for us to live better and longer. We have to fight the environment. We have to fight everything around us, the air, the food, the water, because all those things combine to tear our genes and DNA apart. And if we're not doing all these things, rebuilding our genes and DNA, whether we're healthy or not, if we're not healthy, it's just worse. We're just in a worse situation. Rebuilding the immune system, cleaning the blood, cleaning the cells, cleaning the organs, watch what we eat, exercise. You have to exercise. You have to exercise. It is critically important. So, all of these things combined and more
Mhm.
is what we try to do to keep you all healthy, so you
Mhm.
can live better and longer. And I know that sometimes we talk to you, it seems like we're just harassing you. We're just.
Well, I think it sounds so hard, but I want to make sure that the blame is not getting put on the good things that we're supposed to be doing, because then we could generate negative emotions when we're thinking about doing those good things.
Mhm.
A lot of people who promote plant-based diets will often say, the question is not why eating plant-based is expensive. The question really should be, why is eating processed foods so cheap? And I'd like to say the same thing. The question is not really, why is trying to live a healthy lifestyle so hard, but like, why is it that living a bad lifestyle is so easy? And it's really because humans, we've created this world for ourselves. We actually have created all the obstacles that we are now trying to overcome.
Man-made
We've
disasters.
created these disasters. We've created a society and a culture, and at least in America, I can speak for. I know it's not the same in every country, but at least here it is. We've just created a lifestyle that revolves around being stagnant and quick and easy, cheap food options, and being very, very stressed and over scheduled. I could just go on and on. I mean, even down to just the idea or the glamorization of, like, I'll sleep when I die kind of an attitude, which is like, you're somehow uh, better or more resilient than other people if you can get by without sleep and run yourself ragged, when actually it's much harder to find balance and to be successful and also sleep and eat well and take care of yourself. So, I'd like to say that when we feel frustrated about how hard it is to try to live a healthy lifestyle, we should be putting the blame on all of the forces that make living unnaturally and unhealthfully so easy, and then really hold sacred the practices that help us be healthy and live longer, and cherish them and try to bring them into our life in every way with positive emotion and positive feelings.
And that's what we're doing. That's where we're bringing it to you. We falter sometimes. I know I do. But we're bringing you all these values that we should cherish in life to, and living longer or longevity is one thing, but it's the suffering that, even if you live to 60, 70, 80 years, if you have 15, 20, 30 years, 50 years of that were just pure suffering, just brutal suffering, pain, organs being cut into, removed. You spend so much of the time in the medical system, you know,
Mhm.
that's no quality of life. So, yes,
Mhm.
you live, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years, but a lot of it was just pain and suffering and just
Mhm.
brutal.
And a lot of risk. It's a risky way to live because yes, the medical industry is amazing, but every time we do an intervention, it comes with risks. It comes with potentially other sorts of disasters that are just a natural part of, you know,
Infections, side
yeah.
effects of the medication, doctors
Hmm.
making mistakes, nurses making mistakes. We're all human. We will make mistakes. It's inevitable that mistakes will be made. So, you know, I we're just chatting here to let you see what we do, and then those of you who come to us with, with chronic diseases or even ordinary diseases, we try to guide you through the medical system as to how you should work with your doctors or your healthcare providers to get the best from the medical system. If you're doing heavy drugs, if you're doing chemo radiation, we monitor your labs to see if your bone marrow is being destroyed, if your heart is being destroyed, your lung is being destroyed, your brain is being destroyed. Why do we do that? Why do we monitor these specific ones? Because some of the people who came to us and they were doing radiation, chemo, immunotherapy, all of this, they die because their bone marrows were destroyed, their heart were destroyed, their lung was destroyed. So we're not saying you shouldn't do the medication, you should do it, but we're going to help to support your bodies to alleviate the stress of it. So you don't come to us on the other side when the damage is done. Come to us when you're diagnosed so we can help you start building up your body. So if you decide to do, the medical treatments, your body can be more receptive to it, to the medical treatments, and less damage to the bone marrow, the heart, the lung, especially these areas. So we provide a lot.
Mhm.
When someone comes to us, we actually do a lot, and we just want you to know
Mhm.
that we try our best.
Yes, yes, we do, and I think they know that.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I yell at some of you when you come to me, you don't do what I ask you to do. I yell at you because I see what's coming or what could be coming.
He yells at me too. I'll say my new species testimonial is that I have not figured out yet how to live a healthier lifestyle. I definitely struggle to balance my own needs with 3 children and a business and family needs and all the stuff. Um, and I think it's a constant battle for all of us as we live our lives to try to optimize and find ways to protect what's
Because you
most
also do
important.
guide your parents and other family members as well. You
Yeah.
do a lot.
I do a lot, and
Mhm.
but I have to say that despite doing not doing so well in my natural lifestyle, new species has saved my butt in so many ways, because if I wasn't taking supplements as effective and powerful as new species formulas, I don't think I would be as well off as I am. As far as my digestion goes, I absolutely rely on the detox. Um, the probiotic makes a huge difference for me, as far as my like energy levels, dealing with brain fog. If I eat too much sugar or something, I absolutely depend on the L-new formulas. Maybe some extra B vitamins sometimes. MSM helps me so much with the inflammation I cause myself when I'm eating too many foods that cause inflammation, and pain. So and the vitamin D, because I'm chronically low with vitamin D, which most people are, but, I guess there's no way to know exactly how badly that could be affecting certain things for me, but, I had some other issues that maybe I can talk about at another time, but the surgeon was who I was consulting with at the time was absolutely astonished that I had gotten to a certain point with this situation and I had absolutely no pain or any symptoms at all. And I was like, "Oh, well, I have to say that I'm not doing anything else but taking new species formulas, so it has to be new species." There's like no other effort I'm putting in. And it's like if I just do one thing right, it's taking my new species formulas. That's what I hang my hat on at this point, and I know that won't always be enough because there's way too many toxic things in the environment for
Yeah.
me to be adding on with bad choices as well. Eventually, that's going to catch up, and it has in
Mhm.
some ways.
Mhm.
But if it weren't for New Species, man, I don't know where I'd be right now. And I feel an ongoing burden to figure these things out because we're here trying to help you, and I want to challenge myself to figure out how to maintain certain healthy lifestyle practices so I can pass that on onto others. And certainly I think, maybe I've got my new species down pat, and we and our some of our clients maybe have the lifestyle down pat, but they don't get the new species part consistent. So we all can
Hmm.
help each other in different ways.
Hmm.
And we that's why we love having this community here, and everyone here can contribute in whatever way they have figured out to live a consistent, balanced, healthy lifestyle to please share when it comes to diet
Hmm.
or exercise. Maybe people, I know a lot of people who've got the exercise down pat, man. They 5 a.m. every day, doing their thing, but they can't get past the diet stuff. And so if they weren't exercising, who knows what their body, what situation their body would be in. So we all have our weaknesses and our strengths, and it's great to share them here.
And the diet part is the hardest part for most of you who come to me, at least in this species. And it's the hardest part for my family as well. My relatives, it's just the hardest part. And if you were to drop habits that you learn over the years, over your lifetime, if you were to just say, you've been living normally because you just watch people eat what they eat, drink what they drink, and do what they do. If you were to just say, I am going to do a refresh. If you
Mhm.
do that, what you're going to find is that if you get up every morning and drink a glass of water, 8 ounces or 16 ounces, whatever is best for you think is best for you. And you make a fruit juice, multiple fruits, or a green juice smoothie. If you do that every day, you take the time in the mornings to do that every day. I can't imagine. And the fruits, you could just use 3 or 4 fruits, any fruits. Or if you could use 3 or 4 vegetables: broccoli, spinach, you know, kale, cucumber, any 3 to 5. And you do that every day. What you're gonna find is that you're gonna drink that 8 ounces, and by noon, you're not even gonna be hungry for foods. It's because of the bad foods we eat. It perpetuate our bodies to keep asking for it. As Jillian would say, the bacteria in the stomach, and especially those in the small intestine, are screaming because that's what we're feeding a lot of time. We eat this salt and sugar that we love. We see it and we love it. And I'm guilty too.
Mhm.
It's the bacteria, the good and the bad, that are in the small intestine, all
Mhm.
the way from the stomach to the colon.
Mhm.
When you have that urge, when you feel that propensity, that inclination, you want it, you go out and you look in, whether it's a restaurant or a bakery, and you see the food, and you say, I want that. You think it's your genes and DNA, the basis of all life? You think that's what's asking for that? No. It's those little creatures, the little microbes. They're pushing
Mhm.
out the hormones. They're pushing out the enzymes. Yes, they produce enzymes and hormones just like we do. And they live in us. They're parasites. They help us. But that's what's acting on our brain. They control us. They own us.
Mhm.
And we
They
succumb to
are
it.
us.
They are us.
Yeah, I would say there's two main misconceptions folks have when we think about our cravings. Uh, so folks will often say, "Well, I'm craving meat, or I'm craving salt, or I'm craving." It must mean that my body needs it. And there's two reasons why that's not necessarily true. The first one is because if you're already eating a lot of those foods, then you are producing the pathogens, so the unhealthy bacteria that live in your gut and will say, I want more of that because it's what they feed on. So we are not what we eat, we are what our bacteria eats. And so you have to be careful when you're thinking, well, I'm craving this thing. It must mean my body needs it. No, it might mean that you're feeding the bacteria that need it, but you don't need it. And it's actually hurting us. The second thing could be that it could be legit that your body is actually craving fat and salt and sugar, but your body doesn't know, like Aston said, these ancient genes that make us up doesn't know about modern foods. So you might look at ice cream and there is your fat and your sugar, but that's not actually what your body needs. It needs fat and sugar, but it doesn't necessarily need it from ice cream. So you're looking at that and instinctively your body knows, oh, fat and sugar, but it doesn't know that that's actually a source that is going to be harmful. So I would double check yourself when you're having cravings. Just take a moment and be aware and say, okay, what does this craving really mean? And should I satisfy it with this or with this?
Mm-hmm. And the proof of that, I want to freak you all out now, but the proof of what Jillian just said is before God made us, there were lipids and fats on the earth. Sugar was made in the sun before human existence, before God made us. All these things, sugar, just Google penthouse and you'll see that. DNA, genes, lipids, amino acids that are the proteins, they existed probably a billion years or more before God made humans and the earth. So the point is, you don't need to be getting them from all these processed sources that we get them from, ice cream and milk and butter and whatever else we eat, because they're naturally in our bodies already. We're just padding more in there. And when we do that, that's part of how we damage our genes and DNA, the basic foundation of life. So I hope, I'm happy we got into all these things today
Mm-hmm.
to give you more inklings about what NuSpecies is and why we do what we do. And when we give you our new life guide, the 2 pages, what to eat, what not to eat, and yes, a lot of you panic when you look at what we're asking you not to eat, because a lot of what you eat are poisons. They're truly poisons.
Yeah.
For
Even when we say, oh, just a little or everything in moderation, but no, I mean, some things are just straight up poison, like processed sugar.
yeah.
Yeah. And I get it. We struggle with the same things. We're not standing here perfect. And part of me can there's like you can see advice from I mean social media is I don't go on there, but when I have it's very overwhelming, but you'll get all sorts of advice, people telling you all kinds of things, and I'm going to write an article for our next newsletter about this, but my I keep myself sane by telling myself basics before best. So what can often happen online is you're just going to constantly see all of these hacks, how to drink water the best, how to do this the best, and what's, all these hacks, right? But it's like you don't want your lifestyle to become some sort of what do you call those blankets that you like sew together? Or like a menagerie or a mosaic. Yeah, like you don't want your life to become like a mosaic of hacks. What you want is like basic well, you probably don't want it, but well, we don't want to admit that like the best solution is really just sticking to the basics. Are you even drinking enough water before you're thinking about like, should I put some salt on my tongue? But when I drink my water, it's like, but are you even drinking enough water first? uh, you know, Hacks about how to eat certain ways and, should I be eating low carb and low fat or low this or high protein? I mean, all of that is just a distraction from the fact that like, are you even eating enough plants in the first place, enough fiber, enough fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and whole grains? Have you even eaten a salad this week? You know, Focus on those basics before you try to start hacking to get to what you think is the best, because you're basically just constructing a guise of living healthfully and not the fundamentals that actually contribute to everyday empowerment of your
Hmm.
body.
Right. In other words, we recommend that you eat. That's what NuSpecies is, our formulas and our diet programs. We recommend that you eat what supports life. As simple as that. Are you eating something that is damaging life, that is not supporting life?
Mhm.
So to summarize it all, we should be eating what supports life.
Right.
And life begins with our genes and DNA. We have to protect them
Mhm.
because they can damage easily. And maybe that's why we don't live as long as a star. Stars learn to clean and cleanse themselves and burn whatever, you have all these pieces of iron or metal or gases that get into the sun, and the sun just burn them, just destroy them. So that's what our metabolism, that's what it's supposed to do. Our metabolic process is supposed to, our bodies are supposed to be strong enough. So when we get all these chemicals from the air, in the food, from the water, wherever we eat foods and they have all these compounds that are generated in labs, our bodies are supposed to be strong enough to burn it up. And our bodies can, people, but it has to be strong enough to do it. Our bodies have to be strong enough to do it. And that's why we rebuild the genes, the DNA. That's where it begins. We rebuild the immune system. That's where it begins. We purify the body. That's where it begins. So all these models that we put together in our protocol to support the body, if you have cancer or diabetes or blood pressure, whatever issues you have, that's why we put them together. We're giving the body what the body needs for life, but to support itself for as long as the body can support itself.
Right. And I think an easy way to just make decisions about food is to tell yourself, if I say a food is healthy, then by eating it, it has to make my body stronger. If I want to say something is unhealthy, then by eating it, it takes energy from my body. It creates inflammation in my body. It's not actually making my body stronger. And then there's very few things in the middle that are just maybe kind of neutral. But that's how, when you're reading a packaged food and you're wondering, okay, is this healthy? And you're reading the ingredients and you're looking at the facts, it's a packaged food. It's a processed food. Even the ones that are marketed as healthy or maybe are just kind of like neutral, but they're still processed. So they're very likely not making your body stronger. There's some exceptions in between, but I wouldn't really be, when you're grocery shopping, if everything is in a bag, a box, or a can, I would say that you're not leaning on that healthier side where the foods are going to make your body stronger. Very few things actually qualify as that, and those are fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes or beans, and whole grains. If you can just build the fundamentals or the foundation of your diet with those, you will see massive changes in your health. And then if you're taking NuSpecies on top of it, that is just wildly powerful for your body. And I know for me, as soon as I cut out processed food, my whole body is just like, ah. It's like a complete night and day. And it only takes like a few days to feel the change. And some people, that's what they need to get by right now, is just to feel a little bit of relief with their discomfort. And you have the power to do that by saying no to some of those processed foods, dangerous chemicals.
So any issue you have in your labs, abnormalities, any health issue you have, the body can overcome it. But you have to do the work. We have to do the work. So I see we're running out of time, but my 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 way of thinking of it is, don't use man-made disasters to undo what the Lord's made, nature. That's what we do every day. And the people who do it at the industrial level, they're only after money. They want to build big armies, big weapons. They want to make a lot of money, and they don't care about human existence enough. They don't. But you have to care for yourselves. You have to care for your family. You have to care for your children and your grandchildren. So don't make these man-made disasters undo what you should do. You know, we just gave you the template. We build your genes and DNA. We have our vitamins and minerals will do that. Our LNU formulas will do that. rebuild the immune system for it to be strong enough to fix whatever is going on in the lab reports or the imaging or whatever we're feeling, and clean your body, detox your body. Our detox system, which you all should know, it's our mineral, it's our anti-inflammatory is a form of detox for inflammation that Julian just mentioned. And by the way, a lot of you have asked me what is inflammation. Inflammation is everything that's in our stomach, our intestine, our organs, our cells, our blood that shouldn't be there, whether it's glucose or salt or chemicals from the foods we eat. If we have damaged liver, damaged kidneys, our bodies are retaining all those biochemicals that should be coming out. That's inflammation. Inflammation simply is everything that's in our bodies that shouldn't be there and causing damage to genes and DNA. And once the genes and DNA are damaged, guess what? It shows up in the organs as a cyst or a lump or a mass or a cancer or blood pressure or diabetes or all the diseases. My last count, there are about 19,000 different diseases that are named by our medical system.
All right, please, before you leave, I just want to tell you about the discount that's going on right now. And as well as if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please do that. Also, we are asking for you to kindly review the products that you've used on our website. Just go to the product where it is on the site and put a review down there. Just scroll below the product. This really helps other people find NuSpecies. So, of course, it helps us, but we only help we only win if the people who are using our formulas are getting results, because the formulas we make, they're not easy to sell. They're not just like they're not easy to market. We have to do a lot of work to educate folks to understand why our products are going to be helpful to them. And so when there are reviews there, it helps people just convert a bit faster and say, okay, so many people have said that this has helped them, even if I don't fully get what this product is, because it doesn't say on it, blood sugar formula or something really, really obvious, which we can't say and we wouldn't say because that's not how the body works. But your review just takes it to that next level where someone can feel confident to try. And maybe NuSpecies formulas could be the last thing that's there to help them that they haven't tried yet. And we want to give every advantage to someone who's looking for help to be able to get that help. And your review really matters. So if you've used any of our products, please go to the site and post your review there, just like this. Mary's showing you. And then outside of that, okay, great. Yeah. And you do have to put your email. It's not displayed publicly, though. It's just because our system has to identify that you're a real person and it's not spam. Yeah, and you could post pictures too. That'd be great. Thank you, Mary, for showing that. And also on Google, you can review us on Google. In our email that I sent out this morning, there's links directly to review either the Pauling, Bronxville, or Elmont location. It really doesn't matter. You're just reviewing NuSpecies, but that's how Google reviews work. And anything positive you can say, it doesn't have to be some life-changing story. It could just be that you trust us, or that our products have helped you, or you think they're good. Simple stuff like that. It's better to have 10,000 of those than 5 miracle stories, right? Because most people out there aren't looking for a miracle. They just need some sort of relief on a daily basis, and we know we can provide that, and we want to give them the best chance to get it. So please do that.
And I'm personally not crazy about miracle stories anyway, because people are going to come to us and say, "Oh, you created a miracle for this person. I want a miracle too."
And in the end, we didn't create that miracle. Their body did the work.
Yeah.
Our formulas happened to be the tool. And maybe it wouldn't have happened without our products. We can't know that for sure, but their body did the work, and your body has to do it too. And we're here to help your body do that work. And you are here, and we're here to teach you how to help your body do that work. It's not as simple as people would like to market with many other products. That's what you see. It's really long-term, very deeply ingrained good health in your body is harder to achieve than most companies would like you to believe when they're selling you something. But we're not afraid of putting in this work to make sure you know the truth and what you need to do. And we'll continue to help you do that no matter what phase of life that you are in, as we all go through our different struggles. We're in it with you, and we'll keep sharing whatever we learn along the way.
I hope today was helpful. We went into a lot of things that we don't normally go into. Like diet and lifestyle, and how life is made and formed and made by God and all that. So I hope you take it to heart, but don't forget not to allow all the things out there to destroy your health and shorten your life. And you do the same for your children or your grandchildren. And if you do that, you're going to be creating a new and better generation of humans
Mhm.
represented by your children and grandchildren.
Mhm.
So plant those seeds early so that they learn. We're doing the same thing on our end with our family.
Mhm.
So that's my advice to all of us, not just you, but all of us.
Right, and don't miss your 15% off through next weekend. So next Saturday is your last chance to get the discount in store, and then that Sunday, next Sunday the 16th is your last day to get the discount online. We don't do Black Friday stuff. We don't do our discounts around the holidays just because we want to be relaxed and have our team be comfortable taking off to and spend time with their family. So we do the discount now. So that don't hold out. There won't be anything different or better. We're not playing games or manipulating here. It just is what it is. This is when the discount is. So please take advantage. And if you're hoping to get to Aston for him to talk to your family and friends or to figure out what your next purchase is, try to do that this weekend and early next week. Don't push it right to the end when all the last minute stuff comes in and then he may not be able to get to you. Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all we got for today. Thank you so much for your participation. You can always submit questions in advance on our app. So if you download the NuSpecies app, it's free. You'll just scroll on the homepage. You'll see a place to submit your question. And that really helps because maybe you think of your question in the middle of your week while you're like doing laundry or something, and then you forget when you finally come on the show. You can submit it in advance and it helps us prepare as well as make sure in case everyone comes on and they're just looking for a nice little lesson and we don't have anything prepared, we know what people are thinking in advance. So download the app and submit your questions there.
Right.
So we'll see them next Saturday.
Yes.
All right.
I
We'll see you
hope you
next
have a great
Saturday.
weekend and a great week.
Yes, we do too. All right. Bye, everyone.